Casual family? Welcome to a special edition of CWCD, the Wrestlemania Weekend Kickoff Show. I am your host, the Notorious D, and joining me tonight, as always, is the Queen of Casual Level Up, Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
Tonight, we are setting the stage. Literally, WrestleMania is here. The energy is thick. The takes are spicy, and we are less than 24 hours from the most chaotic weekend in all of sports entertainment. If you're feeling our vibe, do the things like, sub, comment, and share. And don't forget to join the Casual Wrestling Discord, the #1 place for real wrestling conversation. You've got a hot take yourself, drop it in the comments or email me at questions@casualwrestling.com. Tonight's episode is powered by the Casual Wrestling merch store, but more on that in a minute. Lauren, let's get right into it. I said earlier this week we were going to, first thing, react to the WWE stage for WrestleMania. Pat McAfee gave us our first look at WrestleMania 41 this morning inside Allegiant Stadium, so let's talk about it.
Okay.
I showed you the video. Uh-huh. Is this one a hit or is this one a miss for you?
I think this one is definitely a hit. It was amazing. They got me with the fireworks and everything. And then it just kept on going, and I was like, wait, there's more? And then the little things floating in the air. I'd say one of the best setups that I can remember. So
this is the thing about WrestleMania, because used to every premium live event got a little bit of a treatment like this, but in recent years past, they've gone to the almost no screens and no lights and no flair for premium live events. WrestleMania, this is what WrestleMania is about to me. This is kind of always the moment I feel like where it sets in like, oh, okay, it's WrestleMania time. I've seen the stage, and there were leaks of this stage. I didn't know how much to believe. This thing is 2 stories. Looks like it has a balcony. I don't know if they're going to put a band up there like for CM Punk's entrances. I don't know if Logan Paul's going to jump off of that thing, but this stage is maybe the best I've seen since Hollywood. And that was a good stage as well, the one that was way up high. But this is very fitting for Las Vegas. I liked the simplicity of the stage, but yet using the kind of verticality of the arena. I liked that they have the screens hanging from the top of the arena that are like,
that's so cool.
Look like playing cards. But I did also notice something later on. There are screens that are lifted off of the ramp as you come up.
Oh.
And so I don't know if those are going to go up and down, like maybe come down for entrances and then go back up, or I don't know if those are permanent fixtures, but there are a lot of LED screens inside of this building. Like you said, a lot of pyro as well.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? We got the LED running down the ramp. This, to me, like I said, it is when I see the stage that I go, okay, it's WrestleMania. We are now in the thick of this. We are through SmackDown. We are now turning the corners. We are in the waking hours. Now I don't know if I can do the 7 or 9 hours, whatever this coverage they're talking about for tomorrow. I can't sign up to watch 3 hours of pre-show.
Yeah,
that I can't do. But I do feel like I've got everything I needed to be excited. So my second question for you then is, we just finished Friday Night SmackDown. There's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to go-home shows before WrestleMania, because they're tying up loose ends with like Rhea Ripley. I thought she did a good job tonight.
Yeah.
They're kind of setting the stage for what you're going to see this week. And they also are kind of playing homage to the matches that didn't make it, like the Street Profits and things like that. Very weird decision here tonight that we were told there's going to be a tag team TLC ladder match next week on Friday Night SmackDown. Completely just omitting WrestleMania, which in a WrestleMania that feels like it might be lacking some stipulations, this feels like it should have been on the card. I made the comment on the Discord, hey, why don't we take a couple of these like Liv Morgan things and move them to the 3 hours of pre-show that we're going to have? and let's slide this match in on the card. Now, I know this is great for SmackDown going forward, but to me, this was a swing and a miss as far as WrestleMania goes. But I want to get your your opinion on it. I don't think you probably care too much about Carmelo Hayes winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I don't know that anybody really cares that much. Good for Carmelo. I'm excited for him. I, in the Discord, continued to I'm going for this guy. He got knocked out. I'm going for this guy. He got knocked out. I'm going for this. So I just ran through a list of all the people I wanted to win who I watched not win the match.
I for sure didn't think he was going to win it initially. And then number 2, I kind of asked you, what is the significance of this? Does it affect tomorrow night or anything?
No, they get that trophy. They get to carry around that big ass trophy for a couple of weeks. It'll kind of kickstart the Miz and Carmelo Hayes' story as a tag team. I think what happened was we saw the Miz sacrifice himself for Carmelo Hayes in that match. So the story will be for the next couple of weeks, hey, we're buddies, we're pals, I'm mentoring you, which is going to ultimately probably lead, I'm guessing, around SummerSlam to the Miz versus Carmelo Hayes, which will be a great match. It'll be a great story. So that's all. No issues with anything there. I just watched. I think at first I might have called Chad Gable to win the match. Second, I was on Kaiser, Karrion Kross, and I just watched them get eliminated one after another.
Nope.
Just crossing my fingers that it wasn't one of the Luchas. I didn't want the Luchas to win the Battle Royal. So I was okay with Carmelo Hayes. I was excited when El Grande Americano came back out and eliminated the Lucha there at the end. That was exciting. But what I really wanted to get your take on was the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, because I think that's the match you're more interested in.
Definitely.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
I'm super excited for that one.
So I want to get your take on we just got previews. This is, they tease something that's going to be in the 12 hours of pre-show tomorrow that I'd like to watch, but I'm not going to sift through all the shit. They'll recap all this stuff a million times. Right now, the Hall of Fame is going on. It's literally, and I had a hard time staying awake through SmackDown. So I knew there was no way I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame tonight. But it's kind of like I told We Too Deep. They're going to recap this thing 1,000 times over the weekend. So I'm not worried. They'll make sure I know what I need to know. Same with this interview. But from the little bit of snippets that we got on SmackDown, what were your takeaways from hearing? Did you hear the Tiffany Stratton part?
I didn't get to hear the Tiffany.
You heard Charlotte,
the Charlotte part,
okay, so tell me about what you thought about the Charlotte Flair part.
I kind of left more confused than when she talked in the first place, because I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like she kind of talked in a circle. So I didn't really know what exactly she was trying to tell me. Maybe I did hear a brief part of Tiffany's where she said she felt that Charlotte was underhanding her.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that she said her piece on what she had to say, Tiffany, but can you explain it to me?
Well, I think WWE made a mistake with this. I think they should have let the personal be behind the scenes and never. They've tried this thing where they're acknowledging what which is literally opposite of what they spent the whole fucking week telling us, right? The whole week Nick Khan and Triple H have told us we don't respond to what the internet says, right? But then literally this entire story of Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair is in response to the internet reacting to the storyline. So that's a little bullshit. But what I think the issue is here, especially for Charlotte Flair, is they're trying to blend the story and the kayfabe of wrestling with the reality of what really happened behind the scenes. And that'll never make for a good story. You either have to go 100% into the reality or you've got to go with the kayfabe. And they're blending these two worlds together. And it's really, I think, just exposing Charlotte Flair as a complete narcissist, as somebody who, even when she answers questions, you see her tiptoeing this line of do I answer this as Charlotte Flair or do I answer this as, as myself and really give my thoughts on Tiffany Stratton and my insecurities and things like that. And so to me, it's just bad when you blend these things. I'm still excited for the match.
I
still like the drama and all that shit.
Me too.
I just almost wish some of what they did tonight, I wish they just didn't do.
But I am right in feeling that I'm kind of confused. I didn't really know.
Confused about what? So
what exactly was Charlotte trying to portray to me, I guess?
She's trying to sell it as, look, I'm the best, and it's, as long as people are watching, I don't care if I make mistakes. I'm getting eyeballs on the product. She's spinning it as almost my attitude is what makes you watch me, which is not entirely wrong. Yeah. But it also is. I came into this story very pro Charlotte. You've turned everybody to be Tiffany Stratton fans, which I guess is a good thing because that's what the heel's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're supposed to do it at the expense of like, oh, I kind of think you're shitty. Like, that's what I've taken away from this. And most heels, I like to resonate with the heel a little bit, and I tend to cheer with the heels on a lot of occasions. And with this one, you just kind of go, oh, this is messy, this is dirty. I don't. It's just too much of a blend of reality and acknowledging what's going on, and I don't love it. I don't think it did anything for the actual hype of the match. I think if they just would have left well enough alone with this and not talked about it, it would have been better than trying to acknowledge it for people. I think that was the mistake that they made.
Yeah. All right.
Question number 3 for you here, Lauren, is we finally got our last dose. That's the last we're going to hear from John Cena and Cody Rhodes before we get to Sunday night's WrestleMania. And I have to ask you, was that enough? Did that do as the ultimate avatar for the casual wrestling fans? Level up, Lauren. What are your thoughts going into WrestleMania now for Cody Rhodes and John Cena?
I mean, it's kind of the same. I was excited to see that maybe John Cena shaved his head. That was exciting for me.
I don't think he did. I think he just cleaned. I think he's just cleaned everything up.
I was glad that he kind of showed his face to kind of get you hyped up for tomorrow. But like, I kind of feel the same way. Like, I'm gonna see John Cena fight. That's kind of cool. But other than that, I don't really know exactly the backstory or why I'm supposed to be excited.
So this did what I was afraid it was going to do, and that is, once again, John Cena got the last word. And it really, once again, they've done a good job up until this point of painting Cody as the WWE savior. Mm-hmm. And it felt like John Cena does what he does best, and that is he stole a moment. He came in, he talked his shit. He is unbelievable on a microphone.
Yes.
We see now he can work a microphone as a heel. I think this was the most direct he has been since he has turned heel. He didn't do all the weird metaphors and try to paint the picture in poetry. He literally just said, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't like you. I don't want to talk about you. There were some things within this that made me go, little bit confusing. Didn't like that he made reference to Cody Rhodes turning down The Rock, which kind of gave him an opportunity, which means, was this not a plan all along? Did Cena just make the decision at the last minute? But then how would The Rock know to signal John Cena to take out Cody? There are some holes in this story that I don't really love. Don't love that we have not heard from The Rock, seen The Rock. We don't know if The Rock's going to show up. There is a reality, a very stark reality, that we may not see The Rock at WrestleMania, that he may have just abandoned us, which I think that the heat needs to turn up to 11. If The Rock set all this up and then doesn't show up for the payoff here, I do think as fans we have to hold Dwayne responsible this time. We can't continue to just cheer every time he comes back knowing he's just here to promote. Now, if he shows up, all is well. This could end up being... Has
anybody seen him in Vegas?
I don't know. I haven't read enough reports to see if someone's seen it. I know that Travis Scott is confirmed for WrestleMania, but that doesn't mean anything because Fiend is one of the theme songs, so he could just be there promoting that. This is a messy situation that can get cleaned up very easily during the match.
Yeah.
But what I saw tonight, I don't think sold me anymore. It actually left me with more questions than answers heading into WrestleMania because there were like threads that I needed tied up, and it almost addressed new issues instead of tying up the loose ends that I wanted tied up in this story. The fact that, here's the problem. This is a kind of an age-old theory, and I tend to live by it. Typically, in the go-home show before a premium live event, you don't want to be the person standing upright when the segment ends, because that usually means you're going to lose. Cody Rhodes was the guy standing up at the end. which is in old school thinking, means John Cena is probably going to win this match. Because if you get put over the go home show, usually the other guy's winning. This was also the case for El Grande Americano, which I thought was interesting. He was the guy who was left laying as far as Chad Gable.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. We'll see how much that comes into play. But as far as, Cody and Cena goes, more questions than answers. We Too Deep was trying to explain it to me in a terms of like Travis Scott was calling the shots in the ring while Cena was in there. That's just there's too many levels of depth of that for wrestling fans to understand.
Well, yeah, I'm like, why am I supposed to be excited? I like Travis Scott, right? But like, what am I supposed to be excited for him for? Like, what part does he play in it? I don't really know.
Well, what was his purpose now is what I don't understand. What was the purpose of him slapping the shit out of Cody Rhodes? What was the purpose of The Rock doing the cutthroat thing? Like these things are not answered going into WrestleMania. And like I said, it can all be solved real quickly when Sunday night The Rock shows up, Travis Scott, and all these things, all these pieces start to fall together. Then it's all for nothing. But coming out of SmackDown, in a segment that I think was supposed to solidify the show for a lot of people. Now, I think it did its job. It was exciting. I think that most casual wrestling fans are going to look at that and go, all right, he's for real. Cena and Cody got over on him. So I think it did the right thing, but I think on that secondary level for the informed fan, it probably left more questions than it did answers. All right, so my fourth question for you here then, Lauren, is what is your most anticipated match now coming out of SmackDown? Because there's nothing left. There's no more build-up that they can create. What we have now is 2 nights of WrestleMania. Now, I guess they have 3 hours of pre-show, but I think they have to know, like most fans, I'm not sitting through 3 hours of WrestleMania, 3 hours of pre-show, 1 hour post, not doing 7 hours of WrestleMania.
That's a lot.
You're going to get me for the 3, for the main show.
Yeah.
So they've done the last pitch. They're going to pitch to you, Lauren. What are you most excited for going into WrestleMania?
For like the whole weekend?
Whole weekend. You go all weekend.
Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffany Stratton. I really, really, really want to see what happens with her, and I want to see her win.
Okay. So that's kind of your anticipations for that.
Yeah.
I'd say right now, night 1, I am genuinely excited for CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. I've failed to understand the IWC's mentality that this match has no story. As Joe Test said tonight, these guys' stories have been interwoven for a long, long, long time. So I don't understand that. I think that they've done a good job. I think the video package tonight just kind of wrapped it up, where the John Cena and Cody Rhodes has so much relying on outside influence for that match to kind of come through to the level I want it to. All the pieces are in play in this night 1 main event with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Everything's there. The stage is set. They've just got to go out there and perform at this point, and more than likely, this will be my favorite match. Still excited for El Grande Americano. Did see some reports here early on when SmackDown ended that Rey Mysterio took a bad bump coming out of the ring on SmackDown, and that he could be questionable for tomorrow, which is something to pay attention to. I don't think it affects any story that much because, to me, Rey Mysterio is just the kind of symbol for being the head of the Lucha, party.
Yeah.
So I think you could insert next Lucha here.
True.
You could go with Rey Fenix, or you could go with Dragon Lee. You could insert another luchador into that spot and still probably do the exact same story you have planned for El Grande Americano. So I'm not real worried about that. As far as night 2 goes, my most exciting match is still this Naomi situation. I liked what they did tonight. The messiness of what we saw tonight with her getting involved with Bianca Belair and roping Bianca back into that story. And then Jade Cargill coming out and Jade Cargill kind of getting into it with Bianca Belair. It was seeds being planted all over that ring, Lauren. You had seeds being planted of Naomi Bianca. You had seeds being planted of Jade and Bianca. You had Rhea Ripley step in front of Jade Cargill, planting seeds for a Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was a clusterfuck, but sometimes clusterfucks are necessary in wrestling. Mm-hmm. They're a necessary evil that you have to just have kind of some bullshit and two stories mix up, and it actually got my excitement up for both of those matches. Now, I already had Bianca, Io, and Rhea as a goated match on my tier maker yesterday, but I think this could have upped my excitement level for Naomi and Jade Cargill. One that I had simmered on a little bit, I think, was raised back up. Naomi, this version of Naomi
is amazing.
Is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The best Naomi I have seen. I don't know if you've seen the back and forth between Naomi and... So this is where you miss out on the social media stuff. If not, just follow them. It's been great. Jade Cargill accused... Naomi of getting ass injections.
Oh my gosh.
And Naomi said the only one injected in this ass is Big Jim.
Oh,
bang,
dang.
Bang, bang. Big Jim Uso.
Yeah.
So they're going at it. It's been fun. I don't know if it's sanctioned by WWE, but it's been good, and it's been an element of the story.
No, I haven't followed the like social media side. So
yeah.
We also know that like my social media is all crazy. I get false information.
All right, so last question here before we get out of here, and we try to get some sleep before WrestleMania. Question number 5, Lauren, what could ruin WrestleMania for you? What chain of events can happen on WrestleMania that you go, I didn't like it. This is not what I wanted it to be. It could be people losing. It could be certain people not showing up. What is it for you?
I think Charlotte Flair winning. Number 1.
Then you better set yourself up for disappointment here.
And then the other thing is like, if the John Cena and Cody Rhodes match is just like super slow and long.
Just yeah. Just like I can see that.
Drawn out. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want action. I don't want it to be super long because I don't know.
It'll be long. It'll be long. It will be long.
But like uneventful. You know how like sometimes they take forever and just like, now I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to lay here for like 50 million minutes.
For me, this is my fear. We know the card now. We know all 7 matches on each night. My fear is if there are not surprises, if there are not, this WrestleMania is going to rely heavily now on the element of surprise, because I do not think that the 14 matches presented to us this year are strong enough to live up to the hype of previous WrestleMania. So now I think we are literally at the mercy of the story, which can be a great thing. This is when wrestling can be its best, but it's also when it can be its worst, is when we set expectations like this. I think that the CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman situation, there's got to be a twist. It's got to be a twist in there, which I think there is, but it's going to have to deliver for that match to live up to its hype. I think that you're going to have a surprise earlier in the night of night 1 to keep that energy up. I think on night 2, it's going to be a lot of the same thing, right? It's going to be that John Cena match is going to rely extremely heavily on needing elements of surprise. You cannot parade John Cena out there to wrestle Cody Rhodes for 20 or 30 minutes with no surprises and expect that crowd to stay involved. Also, something to look out for is we saw a little bit of the crowd turning on Cody Rhodes tonight. This is WrestleMania. These are the smart fans, right? These are the intelligent fans. These are the ones who are not going to just cheer for who you tell them to and boo. So it feels like early on in the John Cena and Cody Rhodes match, they're going to have to establish John Cena as the bad guy. However you do that, if it's conversations with The Rock, conversations with Travis Scott, if it's some kind of interaction in the ring, if it's an early form of cheating, because there is a world, if this match drags out too long, too early, like you said, that the crowd could turn. The crowd could start to cheer John Cena. You're initially going to get a "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chant.
Yeah.
Their goal of that match is going to have to be to quiet those chants and really kind of create a clear divide between good versus evil. However you do that. I don't know how you do that, but it was clear tonight that John Cena has read all of the kind of dirt sheet podcaster rhetoric of, well, you're just going to turn him back babyface immediately.
Yeah.
He came out tonight and said, I don't know what you idiots think, but I'm not going back to being a good guy. So I thought that was interesting. I think that kind of addresses some of the concerns I had in that this is not a flash in the pan type thing. But yeah, I think that WrestleMania 41, unlike some other shows, I don't think last year needed all of the surprises we got, right? We got in that final match, we got Undertaker, we got The Rock, we got Seth Rollins, we had, some just a plethora of different people, John Cena. And we didn't need it. Like that, the match of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns could stand on its own. I do think at WrestleMania 41, we're going to rely so heavily on surprises. It's interesting to me. Anything else before we get out of here? I mean, we are less than 24 hours away from WrestleMania. Chelsea Green took a loss tonight, Lauren.
That I didn't like that.
Man, you just talk about confusing. Like at a certain point, we got to start questioning, does Triple H just not have faith in Chelsea Green? She's been absolutely phenomenal. And so on one side, you reward Lyra Valkyria with a WrestleMania match, and on the other side, you have Chelsea Green eating a loss right before WrestleMania. And now I don't like I predicted Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green getting involved with each other, but I don't now with a lack of momentum heading into WrestleMania. Maybe they interact in the back, but I'm very, very doubtful that you start any other story, because now Zelina Vega is set up to literally have a title match with Chelsea Green. When you beat the champion, you typically follow it up. Now she's beat her by countout. She's beat her by pin. So next up is a match for the championship, and it's looking to me like Chelsea Green's title reign is coming to an end. Now the question is, could Nikki Bella cost Chelsea Green the title, and that's how you get there, and it's not for the United States Championship, and Zelina Vega goes on. Now that's starting to look like the clearer path forward, but I'm not sure. Like, there's some people I could question having titles. I think right now Chelsea Green is absolutely one of the better champions in WWE.
Super entertaining. I love her.
So if that's the plan, I question. It's going to be a fun weekend.
I can't believe that it's already tomorrow. It's dude, it's here.
So we're going to be going live tomorrow after WrestleMania to give our post-show thoughts on the matches and kind of set up our excitement level for night 2 after what we saw in night 1. That will be the minute WrestleMania ends. It'll be about a 5-minute break to get set up, and we will go live. And we're just going to shoot the shit. It's not going to be, I'm not expecting this to be like a formatted show. It'll just be a little back and forth with the community, talking about what they liked, what we didn't like, and what we expect in night 2.
All right.
So that's it for tonight, guys. WrestleMania is here.
It is.
The weekend has been kicked off. I appreciate anybody who watches our pre-show here. We'll be live, like I said, tomorrow right after night 1 wraps up for a post-show hangout. Bring your hot takes. Bring some snacks. Bring your disappointment if it all goes to shit. We'll just, we'll do the normal shit on everything episode. And if your favorite gets buried, bring your tears, right? Make sure you're subscribed. Go check out the Casual Wrestling merch store. There's tons of cool stuff in the shop right now. We got shirts, hoodies, and a Fuck the IWC t-shirt that just dropped. But until then, stay casual, stay reckless, stay loud. This was CWCD. Ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Head down, we're ready to rumble. The casual pod don't stumble. No peace, no rest in this fight.